Hey, um, I just was thinking about my favorite video game of all time, Crash Bandicoot 1. Um, I am, if you don't know already, a Crash 1 and Wrath of Cortex enjoyer. Those two are my go-to. I do not have, like I said, I do not have Crash 2 or 3 on PS1, just on Insane Trilogy, but um, Crash 1 really is my favorite game of all time. I mean, there's really nothing else like it. And, I have been trying to on Insane Trilogy, but it just bothers me. It really bothers me personally as a person who really liked the first game that I just don't find nearly as much interest in the second game. And it makes me sad. It really makes me sad because most people are saying, this is the best Crash game. This is the one I have nostalgia over. And it just doesn't click with me nearly as much as the first game for some reason. It's just not nearly as interesting. And I know, okay, you have sliding and you also have that belly flop move they added in the second game. I'm not sure. Um, I don't necessarily mind that Crash 1 doesn't have sliding because the main thing about the game is jumping, you know. But here's the thing about Crash 2. It looks fun gameplay-wise, but I just don't think it looks as fun as the first game, and it hasn't been as fun when I've played it on Insane Trilogy. But I do think all the PS1 versions are better, so that's what I'm thinking about. Um, the reworked jumping physics and the sliding does look fun, but just something about the way the platforming is in the second game, it just doesn't feel as satisfying to me as the first game, especially when you're on the road to nowhere, pulling off all those nonstop jumps on the bridge. Um, you don't really get as much of that in the second game. The jumping is more mixed in with sliding and, hanging on those monkey bars. And one problem with Crash 2, like I've said before, is that I just don't really find its level themes very interesting. You don't really get unique things like Slippery Climb or Lights Out in Crash 2. Most of them are just natural environments, and it's just overall not as exciting as the first game's level layout. It feels less like an adventure and feels more like Cortex is just, okay, go over there, get that damn crystal. Okay, go over there now. It doesn't really seem as much of a cohesive adventure as the first game. But I do understand that I need to, give Crash 2 the respect it deserves, and, I have to beat the entire game. I have to. And I'm gonna wait to beat it on the PS1 version when I get the Crash 2 on PS1 because, I just want to do it that way. And like it. I like playing it better on the PS1. But yeah, I mean, Crash 1 being my favorite game of all time, it would make sense that I would like Crash 2 equally as much, but I just don't. I just don't think it's nearly as good of a game. Because even if Crash 1 has less mechanic-wise, I think it does more with what it has than Crash 2. Um, and Crash 2 just overall just doesn't feel as fun to play for me. Um, and like I've said, Warped is fine to me, but I do prefer Wrath of Cortex over it, so, you know. Um, I probably will skip the PS1 version of Warped and just get Crash 2, because I feel like, Crash 1 and 2, those are the ones you can, take the most seriously because they have the most platforming in them, and then, with for the vehicle stuff, I'll go to Wrath of Cortex, but, um, yeah, it just kinda makes me a little sad that, everybody's saying this is the best Crash game, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see how this is the best Crash game. But I think if I give it enough of a chance and I play it more than the first game, then eventually I will grow to like it, and, maybe I'll even start to love it just as much as the first game. It just, kinda takes time. You have to bond with the game first. Because I really don't wanna accept that I don't like Crash 2 very much. I don't wanna accept it. I wanna love it like other people do, you know? I think I will always think the first game is the best one, but doesn't mean I can't enjoy the second one. So I will be giving Crash 2 a chance, and I will be beating the entire game, when I get it on PlayStation, whenever that is. But as for now, Crash 1 is just my favorite game of all time, and I will be playing more of it. I know I haven't played a gameplay video in a while. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today, but yeah, let me know if you think what you think about Crash 2 compared to the first one, because I just love the first one so much. I really do. I mean, I love it. Like, I literally love it like a boyfriend or a family member. It's just a fucking amazing game. Just the, best Crash game by far to me. But yeah, I think I have a very nice copy of it too. I know, obviously it doesn't have the black label. It has the green greatest hits. I don't really find a big problem with the greatest hits PlayStation games. A lot of people say the green looks ugly. I disagree. It doesn't look bad at all. The GameCube greatest hits look much worse in my opinion. And let's not even talk about Xbox Platinum hits. I don't know what the flip they were thinking with that. Those do not look good. Those do not look good. But okay, I know I'm kind of nerding out right now on Crash Bandicoot. Kind of, um, as you can tell, I really like it. So, yeah, nerd points for me. Hey, you know what? It's not any different than reading. Not any different than sewing. Okay, it's not any less healthy, right? It's not any less healthy. Good. I'm glad you understand. Um, what was that? What was that? Was I trying to do a skit or something? I don't know. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but I also don't want to end this video either. I was supposed to go to the doctor's today, but to get a referral to another doctor, but they just kind of gave me the referral without me having to go. So it was very nice. But Crash 2 does deserve my respect because I mean it's the sequel to where did I put it? Oh. It's the sequel to my favorite game of all time. And when I say this is my favorite game of all time, like I mean it. I just can't stress enough how much I absolutely fucking love the first Crash game. I just fucking love it. I love it. And I love very few games. Okay, I think the last game I absolutely loved was probably Undertale or Deltarune. So, and Omori, that's a very good RPG game. And Earthbound. I beat Earthbound. One of the best gameplay experiences I've ever had. Not as good as Crash, but like beating it from start to finish was amazing. That's a great game right there, Earthbound. But I will be giving Crash 2 more of a chance because it does deserve my respect, and it does make me sad that I just don't find it nearly as interesting as the first game. So I will look over the more boring level themes in favor of the gameplay, which is, much more varied than Crash 1. So, yeah, and it also has the jetpack levels. That is that is one thing. But C.S. Lewis, Narnia for Dummies. Narnia for Dummies. Okay. Yeah, see, when I start kissing a book, that's an indicator that I just gotta end the video.